Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or the guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Sean Melanie. First, I want to thank you, the listeners, for joining me today for another episode of Managing Self. During each program, I share with you how I manage myself, that is, manage myself while battling my multiple sclerosis. Like many of you listening today, MS has presented to me some struggles. An ongoing battle of ups and downs, including falls, which I'll continue to overcome as long as I get up. When I can, of course. Getting up isn't always easy, but relatively. It's easier for me the more I employ the tools proven to smooth the bumps on my MS journey. How? By saying FMS. Reminding myself that fitness, food, healthy, nutritious food, let's see, fun, with family and friends, all contribute to success of me managing my MS. Like I said, FMS. I said it when I've lost my vision. I said it when I lost my hearing. I said it when I couldn't walk, when I stuttered, and when I've fallen down. Several times. FMS. Understand, my near 20-year journey hasn't been all peaches and cream. But sometimes it is a bucket of mangoes. And I do love mangoes. The mango tree itself is a symbol of love, wealth, fertility, and even immortality. Mangoes are, a juicy stone fruit from numerous species of tropical trees belonging to the flowering plant genus Mangifera. Anyway, it's basically a cultivated fruit that's mostly for to be eaten, edible fruit. The majority of the species of mangoes are wild mangoes, and the mature fruit has a characteristic fragrance, has a very smooth, thin skin, a thin, tough skin. I like to think very much like myself. The flesh, it's juicy, it's sweet, and oftentimes it's fibrous. Also, I believe, like me. Physically, I think I can make some parallel comparisons with myself to a mango. We both have thin, yet tough skin. We both are sweet, yet fibrous. I say that because fibrous means sinewy, and as that really so person, it often refers to a lean, muscular one. And, well, that's me. Okay, you may be wondering, how did I come to that conclusion that I'm like the mango fruit? Well, it happened last week on vacation in Florida. Last Thursday, actually, my sister, she called and asked me if I wanted to get away. She knew that I was kind of feeling a bit overwhelmed with just life in general. But she knows I'm strong. Okay, she knows I'm strong physically and also mentally, but it's like she had a sixth sense that a getaway would behoove me as it would her too. So, she asked me, and our schedules pretty much lined up perfectly for a last minute excursion. My schedule pretty much free, 27 of every 28 days. Only day that's marked in stone, or I'd say with in ink, is the day that I have my monthly MS infusion. Her schedule is free 5 to 6 days of each week. She's partially retired, so that's works out, like I said, perfect for us to get away. So, after 4.5 days of us doing whatever, whenever, I figured I'd tell you about it, during this program here. Actually, it was more like 4.5 days of not doing much of anything, besides waking up late in the afternoon and having late brunches, walking in the park, taking walks on the beach, eating good food, of course. You guys know that I like food, so we ate plenty of food like lobsters on the beach. We had shrimp, crab, key lime pie, plenty of key lime pie. My sister's favorite, as is mine too. My friend, he actually made spaghetti and red beans and rice for us, and we also had plenty of oranges and mangoes, and not just any mangoes, but fresh mangoes. This afternoon, I had an orange and 5 mangoes with my brunch. The orange was from a 5-pound bag of oranges that was purchased at the store, and the mangoes were actually from a bucket of mangoes in the kitchen of my friend's house, where we're staying here in Florida. And these mangoes were just as sweet and juicy as the ones I had in the Caribbean 7 years ago. Back then, I had visited a high school friend, and her boyfriend had a couple mango trees amongst other tropical plants in the backyard. So it's pretty funny because that was actually the first time I had ever eaten a mango. And after his introduction of them to me, they were on my breakfast plate every day of the visit. In fact, when I eventually woke up for the day, also slept past noon, I went outside and I picked my fresh fruit basket for my breakfast. And I recall the first pick and the last fruit picked was mangoes. I remember because I started eating one shortly after just going out into the yard. I just literally started chewing on one there. There's papaya, passion fruit, guava, coconut tree, carambola or star fruit. I mean, everything was just wonderfully delightful. But I think, in my opinion, all of those fruit were just the supporting cast members to the Mighty Mango. The Mighty Mango. It's like my life was changed forever once I had a bite of a mango. Forever until I had to return home to Texas to get pretty much all of my food from the grocery store again. Rarely did I get up to even go to like a local farmer's market for fresh produce, even though I knew that fresh produce, how good the fresh picks tasted, and I also knew about the additional benefits, like it's natural, the organic nature of it, free of pesticides, and picked one day and pretty much ready to eat the next day. I knew all that was good stuff, but I just didn't feel like going on a morning, getting up and going. So what happened is I actually fell back into the trap of selecting my produce from the vegetable bins at the supermarket. Place them in the clear produce bags, bring them to the checkout. After I tied them up with little twisty ties, bring them to the checkout and have the clerk put those bags into larger plastic bags. That was how I did it, and sadly, I'll admit it, but I figured it was just acceptable to purchase sometimes even pre-cut produce like chopped onions. Who wants to cry if not necessary? And I also purchased chopped mango, like chopped mango salad or like salsa. And I know my husband, he's probably listening. He's probably shaking his head, but yeah, even Dawn and Melanie, we also requested and purchased kitchen gadgets to slice, dice, cut, chop produce. It seemed I was getting more comfortable with convenience. I just simply got lazy. Well, 2 days ago, I came to my senses, and of course I thought, is this a reflection of me? Is this how I am? Is this how I manage myself? Is this how I manage my MS? Would I? Or have I taken a shortcut to doing my part in being my own MS advocate? Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, I take all of my prescribed medicines in a timely fashion. I ask questions. I communicate with the status with my all of my medical providers. I'm proactive in scheduling my own appointments, especially my MRIs. Twice a year. My blood work, I make sure I schedule that as well. So lazy? with managing my MS, was I? I was inclined to say no. So, but I was like, well, why did I have this disinclination to perform an activity or exert any real energy, although I had the ability to do so, like, go to the store, or I'd rather wake up early, go to the farmer's market, because I didn't have a mango tree, of course, at home, but, I could go to the farmer's market on a Saturday, but, why didn't I? Why did I just kind of, just let it blow over? Why didn't I just go get some local grown produce? I was like, was I lazy? I don't know. Well, at that point, I didn't know, but, I knew there's an ongoing increase in the number of FDA-approved drugs to slow down the progression of multiple sclerosis. And I definitely never stopped doing my own due diligence, reading about the pros, the cons, trial results, learning of any and all potential contraindications, of any of these medicines that, are out and approved, or there's plans to be approved by the FDA. So, over the last 2 decades, I know that I've always taken a DMD, or disease-modifying drug. I've also taken several rounds of steroids, all to reduce the inflammation, which, was a result of an MS flare-up or an exacerbation. Now, those were, like I said before, I lost my hearing, I lost my sight, etc., etc., and all that was scary. Every time it happened, it was a little bit scary, but I knew that I was like, I dare not sit on my hands and just do nothing. So what I did was what I could do. I took steroids, and most times I had a home nurse administer the steroids through an IV. A couple of times I did it myself, and I remember once I had a compound pharmacist mix it with this chocolate flavored suspension to drink, like take it like a shot, literally. Awful. I recall once I swallowed 20 pills twice a day, and that was like 40 pills for 5 days. I'm like, seriously? But I did it, all this, pills, IV, the drink mix, or whatever you want to call it. It all tasted absolutely horrible, absolutely awful. And each time I did it, when I took it, it was never a surprise. Taking steroids, stuff's gonna taste like crap, pretty much, or like aluminum. To me, it tastes like aluminum. But I was like, okay, I had a choice. Round after round after round of steroids. Every time I had a choice, I could sit and just hope something would get better, or I could do something, hope the situation would improve. As of today, there is no known cure for multiple sclerosis, and none of the available disease-modifying drugs are 100% effective for 100% of the patients who are taking them. Steroids and other medications taken for MS complications, also not 100% guaranteed efficacy rate. Being idle, that is 100%. That is 100% chance to limit you getting the best of what you hoping for, as far as mitigating any negative effects of multiple sclerosis. I know that if I'm ever to let any fear that medicine won't work for me kind of rule my life, it's like if I say, I'll never try that. What if it doesn't work? I'm not going to try it. Well, if I ever do that, I may be letting the best available treatment get past me. I know that I could potentially be taking something that's very harmful, or again have a ton of negative side effects for me. But if I never try, then and just say I'm not going to even try it and just do nothing, I may be actually just letting something really good walk right past me, or kind of say fly out the door. I don't know, but I think was it Sarah Parrish? She said, "Living with fear stops us from taking risks, and if you don't go out on the branch, you're never going to get the best fruit." I was like, this is kind of like the mangoes. I don't know. I recall it. I mean, I picked those. I had picked the mangoes myself in St. Croix, and they tasted far better than any mangoes that I had forgotten from Safeway, from Albertsons, from Kroger's, from Walmart, anywhere. I went out on a limb. Yeah, I was kind of physically, but I guess literally, but actually physically also. I went on a limb and I picked my own fruit. So, like I said, that tasted far better than any that I could get from a store. Now, earlier this week, after my friend pointed out a bucket of mangoes brought inside that he had just picked from his yard, from the trees in his yard, that is, I proceeded to eat an orange, an apple. I also ate a banana, but these are all fruit that we had purchased, I think, a couple nights, or the night that we had arrived in Florida. We got them at Walmart, and we picked up some fruits, snacks for home, and we put them in the plastic bags, and that was my norm and what I was used to. So that's why I kind of overlooked the mangoes in the bucket and ate the fruit that was purchased in the store. Now, these mangoes, the mangoes that I've tasted, pretty much all mangoes have like this really succulent sweetness, and I know myself. I don't know about you, but I know myself. I hadn't really thought about any of the immense health benefits that comes along with every bite of a mango. A common nickname for mangoes actually is the king of fruits, and like I said, beyond the sweet taste of mangoes, they also have an abundance of vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to assure your optimum health. Mango's health benefits do include reducing cancer risk, enhancing the skin, reducing heart disease, improving sexual life, supporting brain health, slowing the aging process, and improving eye health, maintaining heart health, and boosting bone health, and supporting digestive system. I mean, this is like, it goes basically pretty much everything. That's kind of how I look at it. But like I said, all the health benefits can be attained from eating a mango. But just the fruit, just the tree itself is kind of fascinating. And like I said, they say mango is the fruit of the gods. It's kind of interesting also because some people fear mangoes because, like my mom, she only got part of the story. She thought she was potentially allergic to mangoes because she said her sister was, and I researched it, and I informed her that a mango, it's not the mango that's a concern, but actually the mango skin. And people are like going, well, can you eat it? And I'm like, well, you can eat the mango skin, but it's like, just beware that it can cause an allergic reaction in some people. Not all, but in some people. The reaction is called mango itch in Hawaii, and it's basically the sap of the mango tree and the mango skin contains the same compound that's responsible for the itchy skin rash seen in poison ivy and poison oak. So my mom thought mangoes are going to make a breakout, but the truth of the matter is, it's the people who are allergic to that compound. If they, come in contact with it or go in their mouth and stuff like that, they'll probably have an allergic reaction. But I didn't have an allergic reaction, and neither did she. She actually enjoyed the mangoes very much. I was so happy that my mom understood that mangoes may actually help with her type 2 diabetes. There's a home remedy that includes like boiling the leaves in water and soaking them overnight and then consuming that in the morning. But yeah, I definitely let her know that mango fruit has a relatively low glycemic index. So moderate quantities, consumption of mangoes in moderate quantities, it won't spike your sugar levels as she had prior suspected. Now me, I knew that mangoes contained fiber, and that helped in digestion and elimination of food, but I myself, I wasn't aware of that mangoes also had a enzyme, or contained enzymes that help to break down protein. So, people, I don't know, but it's known that papayas have the enzymes for breaking down protein, but mangoes do as well. So mangoes not only contain the enzymes to break down protein, but mangoes also have fiber, both which helps in digestion and elimination. So that was a plus for me to know that, as I was reading more about mangoes. Regarding MS, I think it's pretty important to know that mangoes do boost the immune system due to its generous amounts of vitamin C and vitamin A. In mangoes, there's also carotenoids, which keep the immune system healthy. So, like I said, mangoes boost the immune system. So many health benefits, help with diabetes, just a ton of things. But like I said, regarding MS, I know that I'm very much interested in the immune system benefits of consumption of mangoes, as well as digestion. As I close this week's episode, I want to present to you a challenge, of course, for the upcoming week. If there's something you've been reluctant to do, particularly regarding your multiple sclerosis management, I ask that you consider addressing it, even doing something you may still find as risky or simply an absolute challenge. I want you to do something about it, face it head on. Will Rogers said, "You've got to go on a limb. That's where the fruit are." Think about that. You have to go out on a limb because that's where the fruit are. I know I talked about mangoes, picking up mangoes, a bucket of mangoes, eating mangoes, all that about mangoes, but do you realize that I was just using that to show that, going out on a limb, whether it be picking mangoes off a tree or doing something that maybe you haven't done it ever, or maybe you haven't done it in a while. If you haven't done it in a while, consider revisiting that, especially if it's related to your MS and you could benefit from it. So that's my challenge for each of you out there today for the upcoming week. This is Dawn Melanie, and as always, I thank you for joining me. And I like to share with you how I manage myself, and hopefully you can take some encouragement from this and apply it to your own selves with your managing your MS or whatever chronic illness you may be dealing with, or just in general in life. So I thank you again for letting me share with you my bucket of mangoes. And I often look at the bucket of mangoes. Well, now I look at a bucket of mangoes somewhat as a bucket of blessings. Just like I said, all the health benefits that we can get from consumption of mangoes, that's blessings. I also look at it as, like I said, a bucket of mangoes are sitting right there on the floor in the kitchen, and I walked right past them. I overlooked them. So, I know that I need to keep my eyes open for things that are just right there under my nose. That may be a blessing. It's not even in disguise, but it's right there, a blessing. So my bucket of mangoes this week here in Florida on vacation was my bucket of blessings. And I hope you all can perhaps or reveal your bucket of blessings to help you live a stress-less life with multiple sclerosis, and just have a better existence overall with multiple sclerosis or whatever you're dealing with, or again, just in life overall. So this is Dawn Melanie. I thank you for joining me, and remember, as I believe it's Deepika Padukone said, the fruit of your own hard work is the sweetest. The fruit of your own hard work is the sweetest. Remember the mangoes that I picked off the tree in St. Croix in the Caribbean? Those were just so sweet. And actually the ones that my friend picked off his trees here in Florida, those were pretty sweet as well. Now I didn't go outside and pick them myself, but they were pretty sweet. So I don't know if it's just because I have a personal connection with me picking the mangoes in St. Croix, and he picking the mangoes here in Florida, but I don't know, but it was pretty sweet. So again, don't be afraid to take a risk, do something that you haven't done ever, and even to go back and revisit something that you haven't done in a while. Hope you have a great week, and I thank you again, and I look forward to you joining me next week for Managing Self. Thank you.